In this video, we're going to learn about logarithmic equations and how to solve for variables such as x when using logs. So if we take a look at this example right here, we have log base 36 of x is equal to 1/2. So if we remember that log of, say, a base b of x is equal to y, that would be the same thing as b raised to the y power is equal to x. So we can use this information to solve our problem. So if we know that we have a base of 36, we would have 36 raised to the y, which would be 3/2, is equal to x. Now raising 36 to the third power and then figuring out the square root of that is a little bit difficult. But if you ever see something where it's in terms of a square, meaning that 36 is the same as 6 raised to the second power, we can actually use that information to help us solve the problem. So whenever we have something raised and then raised to it again, that's going to be the same for exponents as multiplying. So 2 times 3/2 for that exponent, that would tell us that it'd be 2/2 would cancel out, so therefore we get 6 raised to the third power, which if we simplify that, that would be 2/16, which is going to be equal to x. Moving on to the next example, let's see what would happen if we had a base of x raised to the 5/2 power, and that is going to be equal to 32. So whenever we have a value that's raised to something, we can actually take the reciprocal of that power to cancel it out, meaning that if we multiplied this or rose it to the 2/5 power on both sides, what would end up happening is that this would be x raised to the 5/2 times the 2/5 power, and that again is going to be equal to 32 raised to the 2/5. These will cancel each other out, so we would be left with x is equal to 32 raised to the 2/5 power. So when we see values, we can try to think of something that it would be a multiple of. I know that 2 would probably multiply to something like 32. Well, that would actually be 2 to the 5th, which again we're going to have raised to the 2 to the 5th power. So we would actually simplify this to 2 raised to the 5th in parentheses times 2/5. Those 5's are going to cancel out, so we'd be equal to 2 raised to the second power, which is going to be equal to 4, which would be our value for x. Now let's take a look at an instance where we have x on both sides. Now you'll notice that we have log on both sides too, and we have log, and both of them are base 2. So if that's the case, and that's all we have, we don't have anything like +1 on the other side or an x by itself, what we can do is we can actually just look at the information that is inside of these logs. Because whatever this log is, this log has to be the same. So x plus 3 is going to be equal to 2x plus 1. We can move x to the other side. We can move this 1 to the other side, so we get that 2 is equal to x. And that will be our answer. Now, an important thing that we want to do whenever we have a value is we should plug it in. Because what you want to do is you want to make sure that whatever value you have for log is not 0, or it's not going to be less than 0. X cannot be less than or equal to 0. Because if we had, say, log of 0, we would have to think of this in terms of, say, being base 2. If we had 2 raised to a power of x would be equal to 0, and you can't have that. If we have 2 of 0, that's going to be equal to 1. And any value that's going to be a fraction will just be less than 1. So it can never be equal to 0. You can never have a negative value for log based off of the assumption of what an exponent is. Now we could also take a look at that in the assumption of what would look like if we were to graph. Say we had a graph of 2 raised to the x. Well, the inverse of that is going to be the line of y equals x. And what we would see is that the inverse of this function would follow this trend. Again, this would be natural log base 2 of x. And we'll see that actually this value for x can never be 0. It can't be in this quadrant here. Now let's solve for this example. Again, we have log base 2, and since they're both log base 2 on both sides of the equation, we just need to look at what's on the inside. So we have y squared minus 4 is going to be equal to 3x. We would move 3x over to the other side. So what we're going to get is x squared minus 3x minus 4 is equal to 0. We can use diamond method, or if you want to use the quadratic formula, you can do that too. So we get -4 and 1. So we'd have that x minus 4 times x plus 1 is equal to 0. So that would tell us that x is equal to 4 and x is equal to negative 1. And since we have two answers, it's best that we actually plug these values in. So if we plug in, say x is equal to 4, for both sides of this equation, we would get 16 minus 4, and that would be equal to 12 on that side, right? Log of those values. And what we can do is notice that both of these values are going to be positive, right? We have log 12 on both sides, so that's good. However, if we take this value of negative 1 and we plug it into log base 2 of 3 times negative 1, that would give us a negative value, right? Log base 2 and negative 3. Well, that can't happen. And because of that, we cannot use this value of x equals negative 1. So our only real value that we can use is that x is equal to 4. Again, that is because we cannot have any negative values that plug in for a negative for log. Now there are also some properties of log as well. So say we had log in some sort of base. If we had two values that are multiplied to it, an a times c, we can actually separate those out to where we'd have log base b of a plus log base b of c. And we can use that information to help us solve problems. So you'll see that we have log base 3 on each side. And we have this plus sign in here, which is similar to the plus sign that we have here. So what that means is we can actually convert these two into one instance of log base 3, where we would have 2x times the 7 here. And then we could say that that's going to be equal to log base 3 of 28 on that side. Well, if we simplify that out, we'd have 14x in log base 3 on this side, and we would have log of base 3, 28 on that side. Now, given that we just have a single set of logs on each side, we can just take a look at the information that's inside. So we could take a look and see that we have 14x is equal to 28, so x would be equal to 2. Now, another property of log is to say that if we have a quotient where we would have a over c, we can actually separate this out to an individual log base b of a minus log base b of c, and vice versa. If we have a minus sign, we can actually turn that into a quotient. So we can use this information to help us solve a problem. Now we have to make sure that, again, all the base is the same in each one of these logs, or we couldn't do this. So given this information, it looks like we have log base 10 of 18 minus log of 3x. Given that, we can actually turn and convert this into one single instance of log base 10 of 18 over 3x. Now you want to make sure that you still keep it positive. I know that we have a minus sign right here. That does not mean that one of these will be minus. It just means that we do a quotient of that whole thing. And that's going to be equal to log base 10 of 2. Now that we have log on either side, we can take a look at the information that's within the log. So we'd have 18 over 3x is equal to 2, multiplied by 3x on both sides. What we'll end up getting is going to be 18 is equal to 6x. Dividing by 6 on both sides, that will give us that x is equal to 3. Now let's use this information to solve a practice problem. So it looks like we have log base 2 for all instances of our log. And we have a subtraction sign here. So what that's going to mean is that we're going to take log base 2 and convert it into a quotient, where we'd have 5b minus 5 over b squared minus 1, and that's going to be equal to log base 2 of 1 on that side. Removing the log, we can actually separate out this 5 from the top, so we get b minus 1, and at the bottom we'd have b minus 1 times b plus 1 is equal to 1. We can cancel out b minus 1 on top and bottom. We can multiply this by b plus 1 on both sides. And so what we're going to end up having is 5 is equal to b plus 1. We can minus 1 on both sides, so we get that b is equal to 4. Now it's always good to take this information, plug in 4 into b for any instance that you see here, because again, you want to make sure that none of the logs will have a 0 that's within inside. And if you do that, you'll actually notice that all these values are positive, so 4 will be the correct answer.